We're going to troubleshoot the PDOException, SQLSTATE HY000 2002, no such file or directory error. This frustrating error means your PHP code can't connect to your MySQL database because it can't find the database server. Let's break down the common causes and solutions. 1. Incorrect server address. Double-check the hostname or IP address you're using in your PDO connection string. A common mistake is using localhost when the database server is running on a different machine. If you're connecting remotely, ensure the server's IP address is correctly specified. Also, verify that the server is actually running. If it's on a remote server, check with your hosting provider or system administrator. 2. Firewall issues. Firewalls, both on your local machine and on the database server, can block the connection. Make sure port 3306, the default MySQL port, is open and allowed through any firewalls. On your local machine, you might need to temporarily disable your firewall to test if it's the cause. On the server, you'll need appropriate access rights configured. Consult your firewall's documentation for instructions on adding an exception for MySQL. 3. Incorrect socket path, Unix socket. MySQL can use Unix sockets for local connections. If you're using a Unix socket path in your connection string, make sure the path is correct and the socket file exists. Incorrect paths are a frequent source of this error, particularly in Linux environments. The path often resembles something like /var/run, mysqld.sock, but this can vary depending on your MySQL installation. 4. Typographical errors. Carefully review your connection string for any typos. A single incorrect character in the hostname, username, password, or database name will result in a connection failure. Pay close attention to case sensitivity. MySQL is generally case sensitive. 5. MySQL server status. Confirm that the MySQL server is actually running. Use the command line tool, mysqladmin status, after connecting to the database server properly via SSH if it's a remote server, or check your server's monitoring tools. If the server isn't running, start it using the appropriate commands for your operating system. 6. Incorrect username and password. Even if the server is accessible, wrong credentials will yield this error, though it might manifest slightly differently in some cases. Verify that the username and password you're providing are correct, and that the user account has the necessary privileges to access the database. 7. PHP and MySQL compatibility. In rare cases, incompatibility between your PHP version and the MySQL server version could cause connection problems. Although unlikely to directly result in a no such file or directory error, it can cause various connection failures. Ensure both are compatible versions. 8. Network connectivity. If connecting remotely, ensure that your machine can reach the database server. Check your network connection, ping the server's IP address, and make sure there are no network-related issues preventing communication. If you've checked all these points and are still encountering the error, provide more details of your setup, operating system, database server details, code snippet, etc. For more specific troubleshooting, remember to replace placeholder values like passwords and server addresses with your actual information only for testing and debugging, and never share them in public space.